takes so much out. Like it takes so much out of you to like clean heavy walks, clean heavy axles, clean heavy dumbbell press it. It's it's a total body lift. Like people think clean and press is just in shoulders, but when you clean a log, let's say you have a log for reps. If you're cleaning, let's say I'm doing a 330 log for reps for 2 sets. Like I'm dead. Like that's my body, like my hamstrings are dead, my quads are dead, my posterior chain's dead, my shoulders. So that's pretty much my workout. I'll do some assistant stuff, but so Mondays is that, I guess you call it my dynamic effort heavy lifting day.
Like what would you kind of do for like assistance exercise on that day? Like if you're not feeling too beat up, like what are some like things you would do on like that first
on that day I'll just do kind of some prehab stuff you would call it, face pulls, just some rear delt work, nothing really
more hitting like the upper back.
Nothing really to isolate. On Friday when I do my strict pressing for whatever it is, that's when I'll do a lot more accessory stuff. I'll hit dumbbells, I'll hit whether it's close grip, incline, floor press, to work with my triceps, my lockout. I'll do that on Friday on my strict press day. And if I'm using a log or an axle, I'm just taking it out of the rack. I won't clean it. I'm just pressing it out of the rack. I won't do a heavy dumbbell that day. I might do some seated dumbbells overhead. So that's more of the day that I'll focus on actual, the assistant stuff, some tricep work, some trap work, some upper back work, that kind of thing on Friday with my strict press day. I call my strict press and press assistance day. But Monday is pretty much just, I get in a good warm up, get my shoulders warmed up, and then just go, right into whatever it is. If I have a log for reps, I'll practice log for reps. If I have a log for max, I won't max out until maybe I'll hit a heavy double or triple, maybe 2 weeks out. But if you can get close to that when you're heavy double or triple, then the day of the contest or the week and a half, 2 weeks rest, you'll be fine for whatever it is for a single.
Yeah.
So I don't go max out every day. Something that we talked about a lot when they were down at my place at Hershey a couple months ago was, you're not going to go in and set gym records every day. Don't worry about being the strongest person in training. Worry about being the strongest person when it matters. You can set PRs in the gym all day and hit a 400 log in the gym, but if your best log in the contest is 360, nobody gives a shit. Because build your strength in training rather than test it. Every day in the gym is not a place to test your strength. It's just like it's like any athlete. You see they call them scout team All-Americans. In like football, you can be awesome because it's practice. Everybody's trying to learn the movements and go through it. You got some yahoo that wants to run around and tackle people and go full speed. Everybody else is going 75%. Just because it's practice and you're midway through the season, you're not going to win any awards doing that. You're not going to win any contests maxing out, 6 weeks out from the contest on a Tuesday. It's not going to get you anywhere. So, build your strength rather than test it. So, I always try to leave. I'm dead after my training session, I'm tired, but I always have a little more in the tank just because, I want to be able to, I want to be able to train the next day and the next week. If you smash yourself every workout, you're going to hit a plateau. You have to leave a little room. At least that's for me. Some guys train different, but I always leave a little bit and be smart. Don't, if you hit something, let's say you do, your log, let's say it's a log for reps, and it's 200, and you do it for, that's what the contest weight is, and you hit it for 6 in training, and you did it for 5 the next week. That day you hit it for 6, so you made an improvement. Don't try and go to a 5 or 210 the next set for more. Save that for next week, just because you already went to almost a full max. So to go up again, do it the following week. Go up 5 times the following week, so you can hit 6 then. You don't have to take yourself to the brink of failure every training session. Like I said, build on it, because if you just keep pushing and pushing and pushing, your body's just going to reach the limit where you can't push any further. You're not fully recovered. need longer to recover. So, you know, it's something you'll learn in your body. You know, like I said, when I first started, I was trying to do farmer's walks every other day. Like, I didn't think, like, oh, grip, it can't really be that much. How hard is it, you know? And like after 3 weeks of it, I couldn't open a bottle. You know, I was 320 pounds and I couldn't open a Diet Coke. I couldn't screw the cap off. My central nervous system was shot. So,
Mike, can you go through, I know like the first day you said this kind of like your dynamic pressing. That's really all you do. Then you do some prehab work. I know you said Friday's your strict pressing day, and then you're hitting more like triceps, more accessory work on that day. Can you just go through like a whole week? Like what's a typical week for you? So first day, is that a Monday? Is your first day? And then what would the next day be? Is that your deadlift?
Monday, which I feel like most people in here, Monday's the first day of the week.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's different on Long Island. If there's an 8th day or something, no. You know, some people are on different training cycles. You know, a lot of the strongman lifting a weekend, so you know, it doesn't matter. Just do it on a different day. You know, some people have jobs where they can't do. You know, police officers, law enforcement, military, where you know they can't go during the week and their weekends encompass a lot of their training. My first day is that, just because it takes so much out of me. My Tuesday is my deadlift day. Me personally, I deadlift on Tuesdays because I take off Wednesdays and I go massage, chiropractor, because deadlifting kills me.
Recovery.
You know, deadlifting is, I can squat heavy every day and it wouldn't bother me at all. But, you know, when I have a friend who's an awesome deadlifter, he can deadlift every day, but when he squats, he's done it for 4 days. So, you know, I guess it's your body, you know what I mean? So everybody's different. So that's why, you know, I deadlift on Tuesdays and take off on Wednesdays. Right now, I'm just trying to get my deadlift up. You know, I'm working, you know, both, you know, for, you know, trying to get a higher 1-rep max and for reps, because I'm kind of training both of them right now. Because with Worlds, I don't know if it's going to be deadlift for reps, max deadlift. It was a max deadlift last year. I finished last with 825. That tied 4 of us. Got last place with an 825 deadlift, so I need to work on my deadlift. I think the winner, Zadrunas got like 970 or 975. And we actually pulled a little bit of a deficit because it was raining and it was on wood, so we put one of these horse mats under our feet. So I mean, it's not that much. I mean, it's still what,
makes difference in that kind of weight, though.
Yeah, I mean, when you have 3/4 of an inch, you think, well, that's not that much. But we had to pull 975 pounds off the ground in the pouring down rain. You know, that 3/4 of an inch feels like, you know, you're carrying that 975 pounds a mile. So that was definitely tough. So I'm kind of training for both right now. And, you know, that could be one of the things, like if you have a contest, you know, make it specific to what you're doing, obviously. You know, some strongman contests, there's, you know, axle from the floor. Some have an axle from a different height. You know, some have a barbell from a different height. Some have barbell for reps. Some have max. Some is the powerlifting format, like the Arnold, you get 3 tries.
Right.
So, you know, whatever the contest is, train for that. And, you know, some people believe in this into adult, like in Strongman, you can use straps. You can use straps in a contest, use them in training. Because, you know, if you get to the contest, you know, and, you know, some guys, you know, if you're close to some guy, you know, and you're like, oh, I'm not using straps. He's using straps, and you guys are very highly similar. You know, say he pulls 10 more pounds than you because his grip, he doesn't have to worry about his grip and his straps. You know, it's strong. So use whatever they let you use. You know what I mean? Knee wraps, knee sleeves, elbow sleeves. And one, you know, it helps you get stronger. You know, you can overload your body. You know, I'm helping the guy that I train in the CrossFit gym right now, and I do some CrossFit coaching, and I coach high school athletes too. You know, the guy doing CrossFit, like he was pretty close to making the games this year, or the regionals this year. And I have him deadlifting with straps, which obviously in CrossFit you can't use straps, but it's letting him, his back's getting stronger because his grip's not an option. And with him in CrossFit, you know, when it comes time for him to deadlift 225, his grip's not going to be a factor. That 225 is light to him, but his back's going to be stronger because, you know, he was doing, you know, mid to high 3s, 4 more reps because his grip didn't play a factor in it because he was strapped in. So, you know, use those tools to get stronger. even if there's no straps allowed, train with straps up until a point and then work on it because your back's going to get stronger. I feel like you can catch, I personally, you can catch your grip up a lot quicker than you can catch your back up. 50 to 60 pounds you need on your deadlift. You'll get that quicker out of straps than you will, struggling with, messing around with your grip and, missing lifts because slipping out of your hands. You've had more than 10 because your back's stronger. But that's just me. So, some people, grip's not a factor, and it's their back that gives out, and vice versa.
Mike, what else would you do on that day? Is it pretty much just only deadlifts? Do you hit some abs, like some posterior chain, hamstrings, or?
I do. Lately, I've been doing a lot of, we call it with the blue ham raise in college, we call them hamsters. It's like the body weight hamstring curls.
Nice.
I do a lot of those. Good morning, straight leg deadlifts. But, sometimes I'll throw it, like sometimes my main lift will be heavy good morning, sometimes it'll be heavy straight leg deadlifts. But, my accessory work, like if I do, I don't do heavy accessory work. So if you do a heavy deadlift workout, like you're
shot.
Yeah, you can't go do a heavy straight leg deadlift after that, and it's pointless. So, those muscles, I forget where I read, I don't know if it was a Louis Simmons or, an elite article or somewhere, or like Super Training or something, a lot of those guys, like some of their accessory work, or most of their accessory work is 10 to 12 reps plus.
Right.
So, all my good mornings are between 12 and 20 reps. All my straight leg deadlifts are between 12 and 20 reps.
Nice.
All my reverse hyper stuff, all my GHD stuff, unless, like I said, that's my main lift. Like I may go in and hit a heavy straight leg deadlift or heavy good morning as my core lift, and then I'll throw something else after with the 10 to 20 reps. Like I said, Wednesday's off. Lately I've been doing a lot of like active recovery stuff on Wednesdays, pulling the sleds, pushing the sleds, rowing. One, just to loosen my body up after the deadlifts because I've been deadlifting a lot heavier, and two, to get my conditioning back up. Even though it's strongman, you need to be conditioned. You'll see a lot of in a lot of contests. It's a medley. You'll see a lot of guys like the strongest guy might not be the fittest guy. So you have to kind of walk that line. Between having good cardio and being super strong. So I'm doing a lot of prowler pushes, prowler pulls, rowing. What else? Reverse pulls on the prowler. Just weighted cardio stuff. Some long carries, whether it's the sandbag or keg. That way. And you wouldn't. And then that's another thing. Like that's almost another way of assistance work. If you go, with a moderately heavy keg. And let's say you walk 300 feet and it's in front of you, your hamstrings are going to feel like there's knives in them. So, you're getting some assistance work there, and you're just going to get all around stronger. Thursday is squat day. I've always been a pretty good squatter, I guess, because we never deadlifted in college. I think that's the reason my deadlift is so weak. With 30 guys or girls, whatever, in the weight room, it's tough to watch deadlift form. So many people mess it up with a squat. If you don't hit it, you can just bail on it. You're fine. Stand up and walk out of the rack. With the deadlift, it's so much more technical. I don't even have any of my high school kids deadlift, and they're all on the trap bar. They need to learn how to squat first, how to press, and keep it simple. But we do the trap bar just because it can keep their back. They don't lose their lumbar. They keep their chest out, and it's obviously not a deadlift, but I'd rather have them do that correct than deadlift them properly. So, that was when it comes to training kids, I keep it simple because a lot of them, like I said, they don't even know how to squat weight, let alone, squat heavy when they come to you. So, I start all my kids off on a box, but people are like, well, they're not getting depth. And I'm like, well, I'd rather go a little heavier the right way on a box than, use the bar for 4 weeks. Hitting depth. So, we'll work our way down, we'll go to a lower box and we pull the box out, and it's baby steps because so many of their stabilizer muscles are non-existent because they've never lifted before. So, they don't have, the strong core, the strong upper back. Like that's, I forget what I was reading an article, like the number one thing in high school athletes, freshmen going to college, is an upper back weakness. I just saw on somebody's Facebook. I don't know if it was like Elite or something. Somebody
Definitely,
said,
I find that too with my guys. Like, just always hit extra pull-ups, always extra rows, like all that stuff, band pull-aparts. Can't be, always just hit more upper back. It's huge in lats and all that stuff, mid-back.
yeah,
Definitely.
I have some kids that are benching, close to 300, and I mean they weigh like 225, 230, and they get on the pull-ups and can't even squeeze one out without bands. So we're going to bands, and they went from using the black band, now they're going to the white band, so they're getting stronger, in relation to their body, and obviously their other lifts are going up because of it. You can tell when they're squatting, they can sit like this more, they're bending down like that. So it's just the little things, the work. It's not just the big muscles that get stronger. But on my squat days, I do a lot of front squatting.
Yeah.
Everything you do in Strongman is in front of you, other than a yoke and a squat if you have an event. But even like I said, even the yoke, it doesn't carry over to squatting whatsoever. You're going up and down the squat, maybe taking 3 steps backwards with the yoke, you're taking 50 steps forward. So there's no carryover. I mean, it helps to have strong legs, but like I said, there's no carryover whatsoever in squat to a yoke. Do a lot of front squats. I squat to a box a lot. I feel like it's helped my overhead press. A little above 90. I'm not an Olympic lifter. I'm not a power lifter. If I don't hit depth, I'm not squatting the IPF and all that stuff. So, obviously when it comes time to worlds, I'm getting lower and working with my depth, but, I'm trying to get stronger and, doing it in a safe way. So, personally, I would rather, be an inch or two above depth and have 50, 60 more pounds on than, be at depth because, it's all about getting stronger and stronger, as long as you're doing it safely. So, I do a lot of front box squats, back box squats. I just got a spider bar, and that saved my shoulders a lot.
Awesome.
It's the one right there. It's definitely harder. So, specialty bars, can save your body from getting beat up. But I have a safety squat bar, spider bar. I want to get a cambered bar, but I can't find one that I fit in properly.
I'll send you a guy that can make one for you. But
yeah, they're all kind of in here like this.
Yeah, I never seen. Yeah.
I feel like I'm in a phone booth.
Nah, I got a guy.
Because I'm not. It just. And then when you go back to squatting on a regular bar, it just makes that so much easier because those bars are so unstable and they shift. The weights distributed in different parts. So, when you get the weight evenly distributed, it's right along your shoulders, and straight up and down, it feels like cake. So, that's my squat day. I'll usually go about 2 or 3 weeks heavy with whatever it is, whether it's a front squat, spider bar, back squat, box squat. And then the 4th week, I'll go, lighter speed stuff, 15, 20 sets to 2 or 3. Sometimes with bands, just to work on explosion speed, give my body a break, so I'm not killing myself. And like I said, Fridays is my assistant's work for my overhead, my strict pressing, whether it's axle, log.
So before you just get on to the last day, so on the squat day, do you do anything else after that, or that's kind of it? Or?
Not a lot. I mean, I might if I was feeling too beat up to do my stuff like assistant's work on deadlift day. Well, sometimes you are. I'll do my good mornings that day.
Just do some more hamstrings and stuff.
Yeah, do some more that day. Sometimes I throw in some Zercher squats.
Nice.
I feel like with an axle, I feel like they carry over well on stones and just overall body strength. I mean, it's awkward, and that's kind of just what Strongman is. Everything's awkward. So, throwing in some Zerchers. Again, not heavy, but nothing below 5 reps.
Yeah, you're doing 5 plus.
Yeah, I try to keep everything just, 1, saves your biceps and elbows, and 2, it's new. And if you're already taxed and fatigued from squatting, then, there's no need to go super heavy. If, in 2 weeks, if you want to do, heavy doubles on a Zercher squat, make that your main lift. But always I always pick one main lift, and then do that heavy, and the rest of my stuff is accessory. And, it's between, sometimes 5, if it's like upper body stuff, like I'll do 5 different reps, whether it's triceps, some seated dumbbell shoulder press, floor press of some kind with a Swiss bar, and if you have a log press coming up for a contest, train log out of the rack on your strict press days. Don't train if you don't have an axle coming up. Hit axle every 3rd week. Like I said, the guy that I was helping, he was so worried about doing axle and all on the same day, keeping his axle. I mean, if you don't have an axle in a contest for 3-4 months, there's no point in hitting your axle every week. You don't need to hit it. It's just like a sport. It's sport specific almost. So your next sport is your contest. Train for your specific contest and get good at that. Because I promise you, if your log goes up after a few sessions back with the axle, your axle's going to go up. It's just a matter of getting a different feel for the bar. If your axle goes up, your log's going to go up. It might not be the next session just because it's different hand placement. Your body feels a little weird from having a log in front of you for 4 weeks and back to the axle, but you're getting stronger, so your numbers will go up. Same thing with if you're front squatting, your front squat numbers go up. The first week back squats might feel a little weird, but eventually it's going to go up. Everything can't go up at the same time, the same amount. And usually I probably do the most stuff on Friday, just because, I'll do a strict press of some kind of assistance pressing, whether it's floor press with a Swiss bar, incline with a log, incline with an axle, floor press with an axle, probably 2 tricep exercises, some more, face pulls, that kind of thing. And then I'll throw in maybe some grip work and biceps wherever during the week that I deem necessary. If I was just kind of, if the workout went fast or I have a rush of energy, I'll throw in, some shrugs with a fat bar, just some different grip stuff. And I also do my reasoning for doing, a press session on Friday is because if I go to do events on a Saturday, that's basically a rest day for events, because I'm not going to do pressing on my event days because I did it twice that week. So that's basically a rest day. So last thing I did was squat on Thursday. I gave my lower body, my back, everything, a break on Friday, and then Saturday I would do events. So I pick 2 events, whether it's let's say truck pull and cake carry. And I would do those 2, and then probably some prowler afterwards, or a really long light keg run, or if sometimes, and always train, if you have a contest coming up and there's 5 kegs in a keg load or something, train 6. That way, when you get to the 5th keg, it feels like you have more than 10 because you're training you're doing 6. So I always try and go above and beyond in training. When the time's right, not week 1 of a 12-week training cycle. I'm not going to go do contest weight in the log, contest weight in the yoke, all that stuff. Build up, because you don't want to get to the contest and you peaked 5 weeks ago because you trained heavy, and you get the contest and you feel like shit. So you have to, and everybody's different. Some people they can peak in 8 weeks and get enough work in. Some people it takes 10, some people it takes 12. Everybody's different. It depends on the events. So it's one of those things like there's not an exact science, and it's obviously not an exact science to powerlifting or Olympic lifting, but with powerlifting and Olympic lifting, what lifts you have. You have bench squat, deadlift, and you have clean and jerk and snatch. Like if you go to a contest in Poland, South America, or Russia, wherever, clean and jerk, or snatch to snatch, or bench to bench, deadlift to deadlift. Regardless of how you look at it. But with Strongman, there's probably no other yoke in the world like that. So, you train on that yoke, you get to a contest, the yoke's going to be totally different. There's not standardized equipment. So, you have to be able to, be flexible and, be ready for anything. So you can't put it down to an exact science because everything's different. Whether I went to Poland last year and they said there was a shield carry. So I'm assuming it's a Husafel or a shield. It was a metal block with rebar sticking out of the sides. I was like, what the hell is this thing? But it's stuff the Polish guys made and they were really good at because they've been training on. So, you know, it's their version of the shield. So when people come to Poland, they don't compete on the shield because they've been doing it, and none of us have ever seen it. So we're like, what is this show? And you know, anywhere you go for a strongman contest, you know, the log might be 10.5 inches instead of 10 for the girls. The guys' log might be 13 instead of 12. You know, the farmer's handles may be a little fatter. So you can't really, you know, plan your training like powerlifting where the bar's the same, the weight's the same, this and that. You know, you have to vary it.